Hello and welcome to Building People, a podcast highlighting the individuals behind construction projects and the stories that we live. I'm your host, Richie McNamara. I politely ask that you make sure you're following us, C.E Floyd, on Instagram and LinkedIn, while we get started with this episode of Building People. Hello, Shaun and Chassidy. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the podcast, Building People. I'm Richie McNamara, the host. Chassidy, you're a project engineer here, correct?
Assistant project
engineer. And
On our way up.
Project manager.
To PX.
Moving up, I love it. Okay, great. Thank you both for being here. Today's episode is going to be a little different than the ones I've done in the past. We're going to be talking about our core value program and a specific core value story. So what our core value recognition program is run by the marketing team and allows our CE family members to nominate their peers for representing our core values and embodying, what we're all about here at C.E Floyd. Pop quiz, without looking at this, can you name all of our core values?
You do two, I'll do three.
Serviceable.
No cheating.
Prepare for success.
Nice.
Never shirk, work hard, play hard. Number 5.
Firm but fair.
Firm but fair.
Yeah.
That's okay. That one we always get the least one.
That was the hardest.
That's my hardest for me. That's
Yeah.
the one I'm still working on. It's probably why.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Cool. So let's move into the exciting part of this episode. So at our quarterly all hands meeting, we always honor one outstanding core value story to receive the very prestigious Golden Hammer Award. And at this last all hands meeting, Shaun, you were given the Golden Hammer by the committee. And Chassidy, you nominated Shaun for this story for the Work Hard, Play Hard core value. Do you want to tell us about what the story and why you nominated him?
Yeah, definitely. First, did you get the hammer yet?
No.
Okay.
We have it in the car.
I got the sticker for my hard hat, which is more important.
Nice. Yeah, so in December, I was feeling really down and frustrated because I didn't have the will to be into the gym. It's something I've been passionate about for years. And I just didn't want to be in there and I couldn't figure out why. So I kind of, Shaun usually asks me what I'm doing, with work here. Always has taken an interest since I got hired. I think even when I got hired, some of what we did aligned, even our previous...
I was trying to picture the culture during the interview more than anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, our previous jobs or what have you. So it's always how are you doing here? Where are you headed? And how good do you feel here? Of course, at C.E Floyd, but amongst other things, how are you doing in general? And yeah, I just kind of let him know how I was feeling. I think I let him know how I was feeling for a little bit. And then one day I was just I really need to get into probably a different gym and just take classes and what have you. And that day he was come meet me at my gym, let's go. And I'm oh, okay. It was towards the end of the day. And
My gym
he's
is right there, by the way.
Yeah.
Less than a mile.
So he's follow me right now. And I'm yes, sir. And so I hop in, we head over, and it was a really nice place. I had the classes that I wanted, that I thought would get my head in the game. And actually, when I got in there, I started weight training again because everyone there is a really serious weight trainer, and I felt that's what I needed. I had graduated from my old one, and it was just time for a transition. I didn't know that, so that was pretty cool. He introduced me, showed me around. I got in there, and then we would sort of talk, catch up every couple weeks, and how are you doing? How are you liking it? I think he was really surprised that I joined right away. Yeah. And
there have been other inquiries. You were the first to actually take action.
Oh yeah, I know. I think we're alike in that aspect. We're 1,000 or nothing, right? We're just all the way up. And then January came around and we had the 6-week challenge at our gym. So we ended up joining the 6-week challenge, which was pretty cool. And it created this friendly competition, and it was just sort of motivating each other, hey, drink more water, have you been able to get in there? And it wasn't really like judgment, like, oh, why haven't you been in there? It was more or less like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to get in there because I fell off, you can do it and what have you. And it was funny too because there was prizes for like the winner, so there was a little like it was a little competition, but I think we wanted to win against our best selves, so we just kept like pushing each other forward. And like I didn't know what to talk about today, but then like even looking through like text messages from when we were in that period, you just see like I remember you were going to Vegas and you were like, oh, I'm going to Vegas.
Last week of the challenge, too.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's, you're going to eat crap, but that's no excuse. Like, hydrate. And the same thing with me. Like, you can get in there, like, are you going to be there this day? Like, yeah, so.
And I ramped up, too. Like, when I was there, I was up every morning, 5 a.m., hit the gym, and I still got to my work sessions.
I don't want to talk about it. Because at the beginning, he was just like, I don't know. I think what really, as we know and as we see, like, Shaun gets nominated a lot. Like, he's always, like, working hard. But I think I was at a place where I was super anxious. I was super overwhelmed. And I needed this to sort of, like, focus on myself so that way I could be stronger here, so I could be stronger for my family and all other aspects. Mm-hmm. And just seeing him, like, be able to do that, which I know wasn't easy for him to be able to like to be able to make that time for himself and really push himself to do that. Like, I was really proud of him, and then it let me know that it was okay for me to do that, for me to carve out that time for myself. Seeing that was really great for me. So yeah, so that's what I have, that whole spiel. So.
Perfect.
Oh, that's great. Shaun, how do you feel that the core values, our whole core value program resonates with you, but also specifically the work hard, play hard core value?
Yeah. I've dedicated a lot of my personal time to self-improvement, and I remember when, we read the book Traction and we started implementing this whole structure of our core values, our mission statement, and a lot of people our first responses were, what is all this? We were kind of seeing the change coming, and naturally, I believe we were all just kind of hesitant towards that change. But as time went on, we all really jumped on board, and I think it's been, I don't know how long it's been, but a couple of years now. And I've been seeing just everybody get excited about it. We implement it in part of our department meetings and our all hands meetings, and I don't know, the more time that goes by, the more I identify, naturally, I don't have core values, right? So I feel like C.E Floyd implemented these core values, and then as we practice them and see each other, demonstrating those core values, we're nominating each other. I'm identifying more and more each day with our core values, which also makes me feel like I'm a better fit here and I'm included. And I think it's a very important program, and I'm sure other companies are doing it, and if not, they really ought to be doing it, because it was the foundation of building our culture of who we are. And
so do you feel like it's easy for you to always implement them, or do you feel like you struggle with any one of them more than?
Yeah, when I first started here, I think it's been 8 years. My first project was out in Mystic, so I'd be up every day at 5:30. I was on site by 6:30, and being fresh out of school, I really wanted to push myself and earn my keep. So we would be out there 10 to 12 hour days. So 6:30 to 6:30, then I had an hour commute back. So I was certainly working hard, and I didn't really know anything else. I just knew how to work. And as the years have gone by, I've just learned to work just as hard, but now a little more efficient, a little more effective. I'm blocking out time for activities and vacations and pre-planning my vacations every year.
Because you also got nominated for your trip to Mexico, right? Would you consider that, even though you were volunteering in a trip to Mexico, would you consider that maybe also play hard too, because it was so fulfilling?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So anybody in construction right now could tell you that we're busy, and it's easy to talk ourselves out of taking care of ourselves outside of work, or taking time and taking rest. So I think it was in a department meeting one day, we came up with this idea: every January, February, start planning your trips. So I've gotten better at doing that and like pre-scheduling my vacations, and it's just, I could say, oh, I'm too busy at work, I can't go. But if we work a little harder the week before, take that week off and travel, and then just make it up when we come back, it's easy to implement. And go on family vacations and go. The Mexico trip was incredible. Yeah, and then just little things day to day, like blocking out my schedule for going to the gym. And if it's not in my calendar, I'm not going to do it. So every Sunday night, I map out my week and say, okay, here's my meeting days, time box my schedule. Here's the times I'm going to be at the gym. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to withhold that commitment to myself and go to the gym.
I think planning is definitely like key, and then like that prioritization, it's like we make so much prioritization, and just, you know, moving that up is definitely so important. And you know, like I would think like your trip to Mexico and making that time for the gym, it's like yeah, it's part of play hard, but I feel like you come back so refreshed and so fulfilled, and then ready to like attack with so much more like energy. Like it's almost like you get to the point when you're working so hard, you feel like you're not even like operating at the full capacity that you can. Like you're not even able to put your best foot forward. So it's almost better that you like step back, reevaluate, build yourself up, and then come back that much stronger. So yeah, I definitely agree, and I'm proud of you. You're just killing it with.
Proud of you too.
Yeah, thank you.
It's funny. It's work hard, play hard, but it's also preparing for success, because you
prepare to work hard, play hard.
Yes, exactly. That's awesome. I also want to add that included in this core value nomination, Jeff Palmer added that you've just been doing a great job with your projects. The food bank and the Bradley both ran very smoothly, and yeah, as Chassidy was saying, you've been good about taking time for yourself and taking time off during the holidays and everything. So props and congrats on the Golden Hammer. Cool. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, just one thing I had written down is like, we all know how to work hard on projects. And if you've been in the industry for the last 2 years and you're still here, it's because you're passionate about what you do. It's been a really chaotic and tough industry to be in. And I'm sure other industries are just as impacted as well. But if the importance of taking time for ourselves, we could all, like I said, work on a project. We know how to do that. But I just realized at one point that I need to take the time for myself, because I'm going to burn out if I don't, you know, plan my trips, my vacations. And, you know, we do a lot of stuff here internally too, where we do our ski day and our holiday parties and the dragon boat racing. So it builds our community here, where we could build these bonds and friendships and encourage each other to be our best selves. And like Chassidy said, like rejuvenate yourself to come back to work to do a better job.
And go to war.
Yeah, that's right.
Put on your other hat. Put on your, you know, workout or decompress hat, and then put on your hat to go to your hard hat and go to war, right? So, yeah.
That's right.
Great. Anything else you want to share?
No, I guess the only other thing is like the transition of seeing like how Shaun began the challenge, where it was like, you know, how much can you really do in 6 weeks? And I just, well, first of all, like I said it in the meeting, like I don't trust like everything Shaun does is like 1,000%. That's why he has so many nominations. So I was like, okay, bud. But seeing the you know, even if he might have felt that way in the beginning, like he just went like full force and gave it his all, just like everything else. But I guess maybe having that goal in mind just really like put that in place, and just like seeing it go from like how much can you really do to like, come on, you and me are both gonna like do everything and we're gonna give it our all, and I'm probably not gonna win, which I just again rolled my eyes like, I'm watching out for you, I don't believe you right now. And he did, he won 3rd place. Yep, he won third place in the challenge. So seeing that was like pretty awesome. Yeah, that's all I have.
And one more thing, I think you said it, like when I had gotten the Golden Hammer for work hard, play hard, I always like see myself as, you know, service above all else. I'll do anything for the client, right? And I always probably need the most improvement on work hard, play hard, because all I knew how to do was work. So when I first got the nomination and the, you know, was the Q1 or the quarter Golden Hammer, I was very surprised, and it didn't hit me right away, like the significance of that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, whatever. But then it slowly, as the weeks went by, I'm like, wow, that is the least expected core value I thought I would win, and it has much more importance and significance now because that's probably the area that I needed to most improve.
Well, I think the other things are like more like who you are. Those things maybe come easy, maybe not, to everyone. Everyone needs to work on certain things, which is fine. I think those items are really a part of who you are because you do go 1,000% when you decide to do something. So it is interesting that you won on something that maybe you needed to work on rather than something that came easy to you, which was like really, really interesting. So
Thank you both for joining me. You've been great guests.
yeah, thank you.
Really
I'm
enjoyed talking to you.
not nervous at all. Thank you for having us.
To learn more about our company, go to cefloyd.com and follow us on social media. Thank you for listening. I'm Richie McNamara, and this has been Building People.